I'm Alex Thomas, and this is B.A.R.S, the Nexus Sound Studio. We're back with my good friend, Rufus Blaq. Happy to have you on the show. It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
Been talking about this for a long time. Happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here, man. You know, like 2020, 2019, this would have been vodka or something.
Yeah, big change.
Big changes.
So, you know, if you guys don't know, Rufus Blaq is originally from Youngstown, South Side.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the music scene like coming up in Youngstown?
Wow, we going here. Okay. Well, the music scene in Youngstown back then makes today look like the apocalypse. I'm just gonna be real. The music scene back then, it was so spread out, man. Like, it was unification. Artists were unified. You know, rappers rocked the party back then. Like, dudes like Todd One, a rapper named Joint, they was in a crew called the Recreation Crew. It was 14 Karat Code, Sean Haywood and his group. Ross Haywood had a Recreation Crew. That's where Todd One and Roach came from. Then there was a guy named, one of my favorite MCs from Youngstown, named was Fish Stanford. He get on the mic at the Union Hall, any party, and just start rocking a party. So what you see Snoop doing and, you know, Biz Markie and them back in the day, the Youngstown scene was like that. We had a guy that was like a genius. The first hip hop genius here was a guy named MCR. Like, he rapped, he wrote his rhymes, he produced his own beats. Dude would walk around with studio equipment. It was a guy named Ray T. You know, we had the Force Crew. I was in the Force Crew with Big Kenny Ritchie and MC Randy Moore, which was my cousin. I was in a group with them. It was the Lady MCs. Then we had amazing female rappers like Lady C and Candy Rain. I know you probably heard of Candy Rain. And, you know, it was a rap group called The Posse. It was two twin brothers, and they was like muscular. And I mean, they put on amazing shows. One particular rapper who I looked up to was a guy named Reckless Reek. He ended up getting a deal with Rap-A-Lot Records with Jay Prince, with Scarface and all of them. He's part of the Coffee Brothers, and he did a lot of work. He's real close with Devin the Dude. Okay. So I saw him rocking at All City Variety Show one year. And he had the big chain on, the MCM suit. Sort of like what you only see in magazines, not in Youngstown, because we small. Yeah. But to see him like rocking the mic and sweat dripping off him, he got gold in his teeth, I was like, oh, hell nah. I was like, that's me. That's me right there when I saw Reek. So shout out to Reek. But if I left anybody out, I didn't mean to, but that time in Youngstown history was amazing. It was amazing, man. The DJs, DJ O Money, DJ Ross on the Cross, you know what I mean? Sean Haywood used to go back to back with Ross. It was just, and dudes wasn't beefing, they wasn't hating. Yeah. Like, everybody was rocking with each other. Nobody was trying to block each other.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem nowadays is, I mean, we have a lot of great talent here. You know, there's a lot of great artists, but there's not a lot of people really working together, and a lot of people that are beefing with each other for stupid things that don't make no sense. It's like everybody needs to come together, collaborate, and, you know, help each other out. And that's, I think, one of the downfalls of the music industry here right now.
Absolutely, man. It's and I saw it. I witnessed it crumbling. And what I tried to do is, you know, sacrifice and go and do it and try to bring it back, but by then it just became what it became. And a lot of the guys who were those guys I look up to, they was working at General Motors, going to the service, raising their babies. They, you know, some of them dead, some of them ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know, some people got hooked on drugs, some dudes went to prison. There was a lot of just talent here, man. You know what I mean? And I just watched it disintegrate. It was a painful thing to watch.
So what was the moment that you knew that music was going to be your path?
Well, I knew that when I was a little boy. I was actually, they call me Southside Pretty because I'm from Southside, but I grew up in Westlake Terrace when I was a real little boy. So, and I played in the Buckeye Elks Drum and Bugle Corps. I played the cymbals, and my uncle was a DJ, and he was also like one of the lead drummers. So in the projects, you know what I'm saying, like the rooms was mad small, and my Uncle Cornbread, my Uncle DJ Wobble, they shared a bedroom, and my Uncle Wobble had all his records everywhere. And I used to listen to all of those records, like Sherelle, Cameo, Parliament Funkadelic, Bernard Wright. I used to take all his albums and sit them all around the room, and it looked like the album cover. All the different people was watching me. That was my like audience. I would make an audience out of his albums, and I'd perform. And I knew when I was a little boy, like, this is what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to. And I think the thing that changed my life is when, rest in peace to my godfather, Booker Newberry. They had a song called "Baby, I Need Your Love Today." They had a group called Sweet Thunder, and it was from Youngstown. And they had a big hit record that was like worldwide. And I used to and they had this album cover with their fingers, got like lightning bolts from their fingers. And I used to just stare at Booker Newberry. I used to stare at him like he's the blueprint. Cause I seen him perform live before, and he was just so powerful that he made you do what he said. And I was like, yo, that's how I gotta perform. And I just knew when I was a little boy, somehow, some way, I'm a get to that, but I just didn't know how.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but you were a dancer growing up as well.
Hell yeah.
So how did that, influence your music? They go hand in hand, and how did that kind of shape you growing up?
I mean, me personally, I wanted to go where the competition was going. So if I conquer something, I'm like, screw this, I'm going here. Screw it, then I conquer that. Screw this, I'm going there. I've always been that type of dude. I don't believe in signs, but they say I'm like that Virgo stuff. That's why my favorite competitor outside of Michael Jordan is Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Because like I got that thing with me that's like that. Like I gotta conquer and dominate, and then I leave it. So. Yeah. I was the best beatboxer in Youngstown at first. Then this guy Ray Royal comes along, and me and Ray Royal, we battle, and we both dominating each other in beatboxing, and we end up in the same rap group. I got tired of beatboxing. I climbed that mountain, and then I started writing rhymes, got tired of that for a while, and I seen dancing was like the fierce competition. It was Sweet Sensation, it was Magic, it was Main Attraction. It was my favorite group was called Mixed Companies. Jeff Burgess and Big Glenn. God bless you, Glenn. Love you. Miss you. And those guys. And so I wanted to get in that arena because I looked at South Field House, and I remember the first time I did this beatbox called the Jungle Beatbox. And I was like, I was doing this beatbox, and the whole crowd is like, South Field House. And they screaming for me. I'm like, yeah, yeah. But when the dancers came out, Little Bill and all of those guys, and my cousin Damon Peace, who was like, he became the blueprint for me of how to be a star. Damon Peace was. And, that's my cousin. And him and John and Dwayne, they was like the royal family of dancing. And when I seen those guys and satin in sequence, itching for a scratch, and pumping, and the girls screaming and dancing and doing all that popping, I was like, yo, I'm about to conquer this now.
Nice.
So I started off with my group with Jimmy, Trent, Shaheed, Darwin, Perry Coleman, Marcus Brooks, God bless the dead, Rippy Williams, Wilbert Whipple. I got to shout out Marnie, Marlise, and Jada Ransom. Our group, like the way we shifted the dynamic of our rotations, and we practiced and we busted our butts, and we ended up conquering. We ended up being the best group that some say has ever seen in Youngstown. Me personally, I'm like how Michael Jordan says it wouldn't be fair to say I'm the GOAT because it was others before me that I didn't get to compete against. Yeah. That's how I feel when people say we was the best group in dancing. I gotta humbly say I don't know, because I probably would have crapped bricks if I had to go against Mixed Companies in the 80s in their prime. Yeah. You feel me? So So to say I conquered for my era, to say I was the guy, I was like the LeBron for dancing to me. I wasn't the Jordan. I think my cousin Damon Peace was the Jordan. And John Peace helped me get there, him and Dwayne, but that was the Jordan, was my cousin Damon, and I think I'm Bronny.
Nice.
For sure. So after I dominated that, you know what I mean, I was like, I'm done. I was telling my guys in my group, dancing don't sell records. We're not going to make it and be worldwide dancing. We're just going to be behind the people making the records. And I know I can make records because I play piano and stuff. And I was writing these songs in my bedroom, and I start practicing writing. So I wrote my first song when I was 5, but I really started practicing songwriting when I was like 13. And I never stopped.
Nice. And
so that was next.
And they go hand in hand together, the dancing, performing, and music, you know, So at 18, right, you up and moved to LA?
No, Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I went to Atlanta first.
All right, so what was it that sparked you to get up and move out of here? And
Youngstown started changing. I went to a party at the Union Hall, and we were dancing, and all the happy hip hop records was on. We was dancing. And I'll never forget when the Ready Rock Boys rocked in and D-Train walked in, like the Youngstown street hustlers. They was getting money. And I'll never forget that night when they played, here's a little story about a nigga like me. Never should have been let out the penitentiary. NWA, gangster, gangster. Yo, and was fighting. Now, you know, Youngstown was fighting. But when I heard pop, 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 and everybody started getting low, and hitting the ground. And then I found out William Kitchen got killed, and different people dudes that should still be here shining right now, is gone.
A lot of those in Youngstown.
They started. And when them guns start going off and all that stuff, you know, it was a time in Youngstown back then where we were scared that we might not make it to 21. I remember when I turned 21, I was crying in the bathroom thanking God, because it was getting that bad in Youngstown. So I just was feeling like, where I'm going with this gift, I'm battling everybody, and nobody can beat me in rapping. You know, and I learned everything, I'm not gonna front, from the Haywoods on Evergreen. I learned everything about hip hop that I could possibly learn from them, and I just worked on it and marinated in everything I watched them do. And I just said, I'm gonna be the best. And I started battling, and no one was on my level, and I was getting tired of annihilating everybody. I'm not bragging, I'm just being real. It happened. If you lost to me, but that's what it was. And I just was like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I have to go. Like, and so a movie called Boomerang came out. And it was like, it had like TLC on it. It had all of these, LaFace Records was popping down there. And then Criss Cross came out with Jump. And I was like, and then I saw this, I was watching BET, I was working at rallies on Market Street, and I would come home from work smelling like dirty grease and burgers. And I'd be sitting on my father's couch knowing I shouldn't, because he used to cuss me out because I stink up his couch. And I'd be sitting on that joint, like looking, hoping he don't come downstairs watching his TV on his couch. And I'm like, yo, I saw the BET commercial about Atlanta. I was like, I gotta go. So it's this guy named DJ Manny Man, God bless Manny. He like was a street dude from New York, and he came to Ohio. He bought all kind of homes and real estate and had all kind of stores, clothing stores. He was a real popular guy. He used to let me drive his cars, his Benzes. He treated me like a little brother. He used to always say to me, you don't belong here. I'm gonna prepare you for New York. I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know, cause you're gonna go to New York. This dude used to always tell me that. I'm like, man, I'm going to Atlanta first, nigga. I ain't going to New York. It's like, you can go to New York. You're not really from here. You from like Brooklyn or something. He did say that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I was like, okay. So I learned everything from him, the slang and everything. And he used to take me out of town to battle. He said, this the test. Battle these niggas. I was killing them. Then they took me to Ohio State block party. It was, ask DJ O Sharp, confirmed. Like 22 to 23 MCs in line, I annihilated all of them. There's like, you have to go. I was like, man, you know, I told Manny, I said, what can I do to go? And I remember Manny talked to my mother, DJ Manny, and I love Manny. He was like, he told my mother I would never have him in the street doing no drug selling and stuff. I got him working. So I worked, but I defied him and I did sell some dope on Hillman Street. And I bought all of these outfits, all these matching outfits to go down to Atlanta so I could, you know what I mean? And I spent all that money. And by the time I got on that damn Greyhound bus, I had $6 left to my name. But I still got on that freaking bus. I got down there, I ate a breakfast. I ain't had no more money. I start crying. I called my mother on the phone from the phone booth. I felt like choir boy from the 5 Heartbeats. Like, oh. She said, you down there now. I'm just going to pray for you. But I start rapping in the street and telling people to play that stuff and freestyle for stuff. And I'd make money to get some pizza. You know what I'm saying? And then my godmother was down there. And my mother said, you need to connect with her. I stayed with her for a while. And I ended up finding out my cousin, Yusuf Ali Gigas Collier, and that's who, you know, his name now, but growing up Muslim, Yusuf Ali, and his sister Khalila. And she was in a rap group that was looking to be signed to Dallas Austin down there at the time. The dudes who was really doing big things. Dallas did a lot for TLC, and they was inviting me to this club called the Phoenix. And I remember trying to get in that club one time and I couldn't get in. I lied and said I was from New York. And they said, where you from? I said, the Bronx. They was like, oh, where are you from the Bronx? What part? And my man told me, tell them Gun Hill Road, but I forgot. So I said, downtown projects. Yo, them niggas said, get the fuck out of here, nigga. They're throwing rocks and bottles at me, I ran. But I finally got into that club. And when I got into that club, that was my moment, man, down in Atlanta. And DJ, Lil Jon was the DJ. Lil Jon had dreads was about this small, and he had braces. No. And he'd be like, you got your tape? He was like, for real, like how they, like Dave Chappelle be joking like he was like that. He was.
That's crazy.
He was. He's a real dude though, man, but he played my joint and the crowd went crazy because dudes was rapping, they was getting booed. But when they went crazy, like I looked up, I saw TLC screaming for me. I seen all of these people, and that was my moment in time. That's when I started going to different clubs. I said, I gotta feed myself.
Yeah.
So I would go to different clubs and perform to win. Cause the reason why I didn't lose is cause if I lose, I don't eat.
It's that motivation right there. No option.
So it's deeper stuff than that, but I don't want to drag it because this is an interview. I need to write the rest of that stuff in the book for y'all.
Yeah, definitely need to do that. You got stories for days.
We'd be here all day, bro.
Yeah. So how did that transition into your first record deal? How'd that come about, and how was that feeling of, you know, getting signed and taking that next step in your career?
I didn't like how it happened. I was pissed.
Why?
Because, you know, the guy Kevin Wells, my brother, he was managing a group called ABC, Another Bad Creation. They had a big hit out called Aisha back then. He noticed me, and he saw me winning every night, and he told me, listen, I want you to write for my group, and I'll pay you. I was like, okay, who? He was like, Another Bad Creation, and a group with this little boy in it. His name is Lil Zane, and he's in a group called Chronic, him and his 2 brothers. So I was excited. I met ABC. I start writing for them. I wrote this song called Whistle While You Flow. Da 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 da. Later on, somebody did Whistle While You Twerk. We'll talk about that in the book though. But so he made me write. He asked me to write, and he said, man, you should be writing. And then some other guys that I got with, Eric Johnston and Mike Dobson, they had an independent label back then called Extra Large Records. They had a girl group called The Capers. And Rashida from Love and Hip Hop was in that group. So I was writing for Rashida and her group. I started writing for them, and I said, this writing stuff is pissing me off. So while I'm writing with them, Chad Elliott comes in town, who I ended up signing to. I got my major deal. He was working for Bobby Brown's label, Boss Town. And Bobby had Boss Town Studios around the time Ain't No Humping Around was out. So he had an artist named Styles that was on a lot of records with Bobby. They told me to come in and write for Styles. I'm like, these niggas gonna stop this and third. But I'm getting like, I'm a little Youngstown dude getting like 1,000, 1,500 for these records, and I'm still pissed at writing. So Chad said to me, why don't you perform for me? I performed for him. He was like, I wanna bring you to New York. He said, I just finished producing Heavy D's new song, You Can't See What I Can See. And Jodeci, let's go through the motion. I want you to come to New York, and I want to do an album on you. And that's how it all began. I was like, dang. I went to New York just for 3 days, and I ended up staying there and never coming back. It was crazy.
That's dope.
They put me in a limousine. It was like, yo, we about to roll. I said, where we going? He said, just come with me. I got the Manhattan. My eyes were squinting. I was like, what the hell is this? And we walked in this big building that I saw on TV before. I was like, I saw this on TV. I said, where we going? He was like, Uptown Records to Andre Harrell's office. I was like, what? He took me up to Andre Harrell's office, and I got up in there, and Andre Harrell was like, he's a good-looking kid, too. He's like, show me something. I looked at Chad like, what? He said, rap. I said, yo, this is my chance. Yo, Alex, you know me. I still got a little bit of that dragon left. That's what my little brother Elliot says to me. But back then, I was all dragon. I started spitting. I jumped on the nigga's desk. I was on top of his desk, like, yo. And he was like, yo, we gonna, you know, he was talking about signing me and everything, so. And then I'll Be Sure was like, yo, I gotta put him on his first record. And I'll Be Sure put me on my first record. And then everybody wanted to work with me. I was like, hell yeah, I ain't going back to Atlanta. I'm staying in New York. And once I went to Brooklyn, I was forever Brooklyn. I was like, I don't want to live nowhere else in New York but Brooklyn. Because it made me hard. I was scared out there. That's why I wanted to stay, because I was scared.
Toughen you up.
Yep. Especially Brownsville used to scare the brakes out of me. But I got out there. The first time I got punched in my mouth out there and I had to fight, I was like, oh yeah, like, yo, this gonna make me tough, because you can't be scary in this business. So Brooklyn loved me and beat me up a little bit.
I mean, you grew up in Westlake Projects. I mean, so you come from, it wasn't easy there, I know that, but Brooklyn is a whole nother level, especially in those times.
It was a different world, and I thank the Lord for Youngstown, because it was so rough that when I got to Brooklyn, I was intimidated, because this is New York City and the size. I was intimidated, but when I realized where I came from and what I can learn from this. And I think what I learned the most from New York that a lot of people don't understand is codes. They go by codes in New York. Like, loyalty is one of them, codes. Like, the ones that do, New York dudes can talk. They can talk you in the bar and catch a popsicle in your white suit on Easter. But the real New York dudes, they about everything that come out of their mouth. And that's what I wanted to be like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I felt that I needed that, because I knew how to present product, but I didn't know how to sell product.
Right.
And I think that's what's lacking even in Youngstown hip hop today. You got great presentation, but it don't never cross the finish line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's how it goes for a lot of artists, honestly. Yeah. So, you have worked with a lot of legends over your career, including some Faith Evans, Missy Elliott, Destiny's Child, Janae Aiko.
Yeah.
Can you give us one of your favorite experiences, one of your favorite artists that you've worked with?
Man, that's hard, because because I've had magical moments with all of them that are like mind-blowing stories. But it's between, at the very top, it's between Salt and Pepper and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Because Salt and Pepper is so iconic in how that situation happened, because I didn't want to do it. Because I felt like I'm in the middle of my album, I'm finding myself, and here I'm getting this call to come over, you know, come from Brooklyn, because Chad Elliott would have me stay in Brooklyn for a while to like toughen myself up. Now I come back upstate New York to his crib, but we were driving in his car and he was playing Are You Ready? And he was like, Salt heard your voice and wants you to get on the record. I almost melted, because Salt to me is phenomenal. she is she is the total package of an artist, Cheryl Salt James. I love her. Like, as a friend, as a sister, she has this motherly love quality with her, and she taught me so much. And I didn't want to do it because I wanted to focus on me so bad. I was a little arrogant. But when I got with them, that was like the best thing for me. I got like, she poured into me, she talked to me about stuff, she warned me of stuff that I didn't listen to her and did anyway. But just doing that and then ending up I got my single getting ready to come out, but their first 2 singles, I co-wrote those first 2 singles with them, and I'm in their videos too. So when my single dropped, I'm on BET countless times every day. And that's because Salt believed in me and chose to get with Chad and myself. You know, shout out to Chad, because that whole play, everything ran through him. She chose us over Bad Boy. You know what I mean? When Bad Boy was hot. And the songs were great, you know. So that was big. But Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, it's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Like, control, when I think of you. Like, freaking, tell me. Yeah. And the time, the Bird, the freaking Prince, and all of that, like, they're the greatest ever. And Terry loved me like, almost like a son. Like, talked to me about everything. Like, about, I went to the studio with him one time, and I'm sitting in the studio with him. I'm thinking we're gonna be talking about like music and stuff like that. Like, he was talking to me about choosing the right women, and that's why I have zero excuse, y'all, for my face in life. And I'm glad I had them, because there was the bumps to get me here. But Terry and Jimmy, and they'd be doing jam sessions and telling me to rap and sing, and they put me on the Hostile I Got a Groove Back soundtrack, put me on the Players Club soundtrack. Like, they put me in positions to where out of all the rappers they had on that label, me, Pudgy the Fat Bastard, who had a crazy record with Notorious Big at that time, Young Z and the Outsiders, who were nurturing a young guy named Eminem at that time, the Almighty Arrogant, we were all on the label together, and the only one who actually came out and popped off was me. It's because Terry and Jimmy knew how to talk to you and make you great. So it's between Salt and Pepper and them and Dougie Fresh. I ain't gonna go into that, but Doug is like, man, Doug used to make me cry, like talking to me and teaching me stuff. So it's too many of them to pick which one was the best. Yeah. I just like took nutrients from all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we could go on for days for all the people that you've worked with. It's a long list, a lot of legends.
Long list.
It's crazy.
But I will say real quick, like Faith Evans, like me and her is like brother and sister, like blood brother and sister. Like, watching her evolution was crazy though.
Yeah.
The overweight girl that had this voice like a gospel singer that knew how to make it translate into R&B. And I blink and she go from being overweight to this slim Barbie with long blonde hair. I remember when she called me and told me she loves Big and she's gonna marry him. Like, she called me like to tell me, and to be with her and next to her and be around Big before, be close to Lil C's and Junior Mafia, all of them. And then I'll never forget when I went to the theater to see the Notorious movie, I'm sitting in the movie like, this is a movie? This is we were just living life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one day this would be a movie. And then when that happened with Tupac, I remember being upset and heard about Pac, because I remember how him and Pac was cool and being heard about it. It was just like regular life, like two dudes having their differences. And to this day, they investigating the murder still. They got every other year, they got a new documentary about it.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it was just my life. I was dead.
Yeah. It's crazy. And, you know, it was a crazy experience for me meeting Faith Evans and working with her and you in the video we shot out in LA. That's a whole nother story. We could shoot a whole interview about that. That was a wild.
You know, man, you'll be here for like 3 hours talking about that.
Yeah, that experience alone, it was wild. But the video came out crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I could really see, like, you guys and your connection going way back. Like it was really cool to see that, knowing you for a while before that, and like just seeing you guys together in your element, and it just, you know, you could tell y'all go way back, and we're just great friends. And she was cool as hell. You know what I mean? Like they were recording at Westlake Studios. You know, major studio in LA. It's wild.
Well,
great time.
Michael Jackson did bad at that studio, and we was there.
Yeah, it's dope.
Drinking wine and shooting videos.
Yeah. So real quick, going back, you know, you mentioned about being on BET and stuff. Like, what was that experience like when you dropped your first big record, you know, Out of Sight, went crazy, you know, seeing yourself on BET, your music video on BET for the first time, how did that feel like?
Man, my hands sweating because it's like you took me back on a time machine, man. It's just, I was crying, man, because I ain't even had I had all these great songs, but it's like you don't have a song that describes everything that you are. You need a record, a character record that represents you. And I did Out of Sight. It was called Polo Tight at first. I drank a whole bottle of Hennessy this big. I had some leather pants and no shirt. And I did it on the ASR 10. And I was like, every time I write a rhyme, it's polo tight. Yo, chicky, chicky, ah, chico. And I did it on this cassette. And then I put one vocal down. Then I put it in that cassette, put a new cassette in and played it. And then that's how I was overdubbing. I had a pack of cassettes. I was overdubbing. Wow. And then I had stacks. And I had the yo, 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 the harmony. So I took the cassette. I went to New York. I gave it to Chad. He said, this crazy.
Record's crazy.
And then he did the song. You know them dudes that sang Maria, Maria, that record?
Yeah.
The Out of Sight beat was for them. And I heard that beat. I was so mad it was for them. I went upstairs in the kitchen and they was down there all night and couldn't come up to no song with it. And I was like, yes.
Like,
I wasn't hating.
Yeah.
I was like, hell no.
I need that.
So Chad was like, hey, go in and do that Polo Sight song to it, but don't say Polo Sight tight, say Out of Sight. I was like, why can't you say Polo Tight? That's what we say in the hood. He was like, that's what we say in your hood. This gotta be worldwide. Say Out of Sight.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bunk it. I got in there, one take Jake. We did it. As soon as they heard it, yo, record labels back then didn't play. Like, when they heard that I had that record, they put me on a flight to LA. And Junior Regisford, I know he's gonna be watching this story on the gram when we post it, but Junior and his wife, Ollie, came to pick me up from the airport. For some reason, the limos didn't come that day, and I was pissed because I wanted to drink. But they came and got me, and I gave him the tape. And he was looking at his wife, and she was nodding, and it was like, this is it, we have to do this right now. I think I know who needs to shoot the video. And when that record came out, and when I saw the list of all the college radio picking it up, I was like, hell no. Then I got scared because Puff did Victory with Big on it, with the Rocky sample. Mm-hmm. And I knew my stuff was different. Kid Capri was like, this is what hip hop is gonna evolve to, this Rufus Blaq kid. But I was so used to hearing it. So when I heard Big and Puff on that Rocky sample to Victory, I was scared when they put us against each other in LA on Big Boy's radio station. Like, and I beat him 3 times.
Wow.
Because it was so different.
Yeah.
It was so different. And when it started going, and then the Locks record with me and the Locks is all on Clue tapes. And now I'm walking down the street in New York and I see niggas pulling up and they got me with the Locks bumping. I'm like, oh, this it. Now I'm seeing myself on BET with Salt and Pepper, and now my single dropped, and I'm the hot choice pick on BET Top 10. Yo, I remember one day just crying like, yo, I called my mother, I was crying like, Mommy. She said, son, you said you were gonna do it, and you do it. And know what my mother said to me? She said, my dream was to be a teacher, and I saw you do that. My mother said, I'm going back to college. And I'm gonna go do it. And when I flew in town one time, right when my video is out, like, it was a newspaper article about me and my mother. It said, Mom Mother goes back to college inspired by her son. And it was in the newspaper down here. I was like, dang.
That's dope.
It was a special time. That was a special time in my life. Like,
yeah,
it was special, man.
That's crazy.
It was special. I'm kind of emotional a little bit. I got tears in my eyes telling that story.
Yeah, that's I feel like that record inspired a lot of people and the industry as a whole.
Yeah, man.
A lot of good things came out of that.
It did, man.
And that video is crazy too. Like,
yeah,
that shit is dope.
I just wanted people in Youngstown to see that this was real and it was possible.
Yeah.
That it can happen. And some people say to me to this day, some people be like, yo, when we saw that, we had hope.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
That had to be huge for Youngstown, seeing you come up and actually do it and be that big of a star on BT and,
Then
everywhere.
at the end of the video,
like,
when I was
it's
like, Y-Town gonna make you dance.
Yeah.
Like to say to yo, it's crazy.
Yep, that's crazy. So, this is bars. You get to pick a bar here at random, whichever one you want. And they've got a question on the bottom. Pick any one you want. Give us your best answer. Some of them are kind of wild.
Okay, if your life was a movie, what would everyone in the audience be screaming for you to do? Defeating alcoholism and drugs. When I get on my feet and I clean myself up and I never go back and I come out balling on them with Solid Success Entertainment. Elliot Major, Marky D, Zay Bando, you know what I mean? Amber Lee, Jay Cloud, Aaron Stacks, Reality. You know what I'm saying? Just coming with it, man.
Yeah.
Just coming with it with these guys.
Roster.
I got a crazy roster and they all fire, man. Like everybody got something special about them.
Yeah.
You gotta shout out Rhythm. Like everybody got something special about them, man. And this is the new beginning, and that's the part to me I think it's crazy. We got new other artists that we look like we bring it into the fold, but my core guys, they put that work in. Marky D Jr. is a great writer. Elliot Major is a powerhouse. Say Bando is just he's the young spirit of the whole team. Jay Cloud is my baby face. That dude, he be punching me in the mouth with his pen sometime. I be lightweight, get ready to hate on him a little bit. Like, cuz, what you doing, cuz? You think you sweeter than me? Nah, you know what I mean? But my family they just like my family. And, my wife is my CEO, my partner, and she's just phenomenal. And Junior Regisford is here with us. Mark Smilo is here with us. Like my man Bernard. Like just our team. If I left anybody out, y'all know what it is. I love y'all, but we got a freaking.
It's a crazy team. A long time in the making.
Yeah, it's stuff that I can't even say right now that's going down because I don't believe in jinxing nothing. But one of our greatest partners that we've been having since 2010 is you. Because I'm gonna be real with you. Sentimental moment. You told me to pick the bar. This is the part they scream for too. Because when I got with you, we made a plan and we stuck with each other.
Yep.
Like before we even did work, we talked. And I'm an OG in the business and I'm having conversations with you. You're so young, but you like having these general, like Sergeant General, like you 48 conversations. Like your tap in is just amazing. You was always, like I like picking your brain. Like how? Like he's so young, how? Then I met your mama and I said, okay, I get a lot of reasons why, but nah, real talk, you your own man, so it was just dope. So that's the part of the movie is the redemption that I think everybody would scream and stand up for.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment, meeting you and our first experience, together at Nexus, the original Warren Studio. I remember you walking in and, hearing what we were working on already, and you're like, oh, this is it. Like,
Remember?
Yeah. He's like, oh, he got it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then we just hit it off right off the bat, became great friends. And, you know, what was that experience like for you, you know, coming back home and,
seeing
you know,
Nexus exist?
Yeah.
I'm going to be real with you, and I'm not exaggerating. It felt like Nexus made me like coming home. Because when I would walk into, I'm looking in the camera and I'm going to keep it totally tall with you. Like my brother Elliot say, I'm keeping it tall, not 100, not a stack, tall. I walked in that studio, and when I heard what I heard and how you were engineering, how you was mixing, it was crazy. It was like walking into Nexus is like walking into a whole nother universe that happened to be in Youngstown. A universe that I like. Because what people have to understand about me is when people in the industry trust me in my judgment sonically and musically. Yeah. Because in Jesus' name, I've worked so hard to master sound and myself and what I hear. And being around Prince Charles Alexander, who's one of the most legendary engineers in the game, you don't have Bad Boy sonically if you don't have Prince Charles. Like Paul Logus, Jean-Marie, for God's sake, our relationship, the way we linked up was almost like how me and Chris Tech Orion hooked up. So I'm around Tech. I'm talking about Tech Young, before Linkin Park, before Usher, before Justin Bieber, before he started mixing Mariah Carey and everybody else he mixes. I remember when me and him was like roommates. He on the couch, I'm on the floor. Like I seen Tech, what he is today, I seen Tech. Tech is an amazing story. And the way him and Prince Charles and Paul Logus, those guys mix, John Marie and their mixes, and Eli Tubo and Louis Alfred, I can just keep naming engineers in this business. And when I walked in on you and I'm looking and I'm listening, and I said, this is in the yo, you gotta be kidding me. I saw this before you did. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I would always be telling you like, yo, and I'd be like, you like Little Tech. You remind me of Tech. Yo, Tech. I get on the phone with Tech. Yo, Tech. I met Alex. Yo, Tech. You got to meet Alex. Yo, Tech. I was calling Charles. I was calling everybody, and I couldn't stop coming to see you. I just kept coming. I kept coming. And we would be building, me and you would be rocking and building. And when you touched my first joint, and we was working on some music, you touched it like, and started mixing it, I was like, look how he tuned me. Look how he gets it. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. We became like brothers to the point where I would have these crazy hangovers, y'all. And I would have just jitters, and he'd take me to his house, and Tiffany used to make me eggs and bacon to soak that liquor up and let me sleep in that middle room, and I'd be knocked out trying to get it together. And like, we go back to the studio and we would work. And me and you said all of the stuff that we are doing now that's actually starting to happen. That's why I tell people, be patient, because this was like a process. Yeah. And I remember when you drove me to this building and you told me what you was going to do. And we walked in here and I saw this joint. It was ground zero. Yeah. It was in rough condition. You and Tiffin got freaking loose. And here we are. Like, look, two things. I want to be a part of success stories, not SHIT shows. Success stories, not crap shows. Yeah. My last thing I tell people, I like to put people's name on ish, not in ish. I don't do that messy. Too many grown men talking like hoes. I don't do that. And I don't care who dislike me for saying what I'm saying. If they think I'm throwing mud at them, get your face out the way and you won't get hit with the mud, nigga. Because I don't like that sucker stuff, B. I don't like it at all. Yeah. I'm putting your name on stuff, not in stuff. I want to be part of success stories, not crap shows. Yeah. Whole lot. Should be. Dearly.
So, talking a little about your sobriety now and going back to, when we first met, there was a lot of drinking, and we had some great times.
It was fun.
But what was that transition point in your life where it was you knew things needed to change and you needed to get sober and, you know, make that big change in your life?
The same things I try to teach people and try to instill in them before they ultimately end. A lot of people, I've been watching people in recent times destroy relationships and situations that could have finally took them there. They got to the finish line and got on some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And that alcohol, for me, some people, alcohol is gossiping. Some people are narcissists. But then there's certain people who have addiction problems. But I was a good person, but my addiction made me overbearing. And I'm already, you see, I'm loud, I'm already animated. So you know me with the liquor in the system. Like, and me and you, our vibe was always, but I was taking my addiction, like, I was just putting it in front of people. It was just destroying my relationship. It was destroying my life. I was making terrible decisions. I couldn't hear the voice of the Lord. I couldn't hear God's voice. I destroyed situations because I came in inebriated.
Yeah.
I destroyed a situation with writing for Usher with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I destroyed so many situations that could have got me there. I lost millions of dollars. When people say, how are you not a millionaire? I said, because of myself. Alcoholism. And when my mother said to me one day, Rufus, if you don't stop drinking, Satan is gonna kill you. That's what my mother said to me, dog. When my mother said that to me, I was done. I quit
powerful.
that day.
Yeah.
2021, I quit that day, never touched it since. Done. I was killing myself. I wasn't being I couldn't be who I really am. I couldn't step into my anointing. I couldn't step into this. And I believe that God preserved Elliot, J. Cloud, Zay Bando, first and foremost, my wife, who's my partner. Like, I don't get them if I don't surrender and I don't quit that stuff. I don't get none of this.
Yeah.
It was on me.
And I mean, at the time, for a lot of people with substance abuse and music or creative processes in general, like, you know, they feel like they need it to be creative and to get in the studio and make those songs. Was that like how you were feeling? Was it a hard transition going from, you know, being in the studio with a bottle to being sober now and, you know, writing and everything else?
Because I put two and two together. I'm a little tapped. I'm a little strange. I'm a weirdo. I don't need that stuff. I'm already weird.
And writing for you came long before the alcohol, so it was...
And if you want to be technically sound, I'm still high and drunk from 94. I did so much of it that I do believe scientifically my body creates liquor now. Go figure. Come on, man, I don't need that stuff. Nobody really does. It's like, nobody really does.
No. So has your creative process changed from, you know, your days when you first started off in Atlanta and LA to, you know, now creating a song?
Yeah, I don't write 20 and 30 songs a day no more. Hell no. Hell no. Sometimes Zay Bando be like, yo, Pops, just go rest, man. Just go rest. I'd be like, yo, I'm not feeling it today. I'd be like, yo, I ain't feeling it. Just rest your brain. Like, because there's so much going on, like your life, you know, at one point, that's all it was.
Right.
But you put me in a moment, well, we got to get it done. I'm still a Terminator. I give you 20.
Yeah.
I definitely would give you 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Bron and Michael Jordan at 40. You put me in the game, how many points you want? I can score. I prefer passing. But no, if you want me to drop 50, I drop 50.
Yeah.
I still got it a little bit. Some slight.
So you've had a lot of songs on soundtracks for movies and a lot of different things over the years. How does that process differ for you than just creating a song for yourself? Oh,
it's it's cool. I used to like those type of situations because it would take me outside of the box of myself. Because I always felt like if everything is about you, how is the world going to relate to it? How are you going to create relationships and maintain relationships? Like, you know, look at Burger King, how they sell product. Add BK, have it your way. They say you rule. You, not them. That's how they're selling the product. That's how I feel we're working like with soundtracks. They tell you what they want and it's down the third. Like me personally, I wouldn't have did the song that I did on the Players Club soundtrack. Now the Players Club is like a cult classic, like one of the biggest movies still to this day that plays all over TV. And I have my song is on one of the most iconic scenes. When the girl says, assume the position. You da 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 da, and the stripper starts dancing. You'll see every now and then on Instagram like females imitating that scene and playing my song. It's me featuring Spinderella. I didn't necessarily want to do that song, but that's the song they wanted me to do, and they wanted a song that vibe that way. Yeah. I couldn't do it the way I wanted to do it. So when I just like honored what they requested and I did it, and I seen it excel and do something great, I was like, wow. And I'll never forget Prince Charles Alexander said to me, stop fighting and just do it. Yeah. He said, anything you do will be good. He said, you're Rufus effing Blaq. That's the first time I heard you're Rufus effing Blaq. Just do it. So I like those things. I like getting notes and them telling me what they want and make this change and make that change. It makes you better. Yeah.
I feel like it's a opportunity to kind of step outside of your own world and put yourself in somebody else's shoes or whatever and write from a different perspective. That's, I think it's a cool element.
Absolutely.
So, congratulations on now being a part of the Recording Academy.
Yes, sir.
You are now on the Grammy voting board. That's a huge achievement, and just tell us a little bit about that and how that feels like coming up from Youngstown and everything you've achieved and now being on the Grammy board.
Man, growing up, we always, if you really were in music, you couldn't wait for Grammy night to come on TV and watch it. I never cared about how it worked. I just cared about who won. I never cared about the politic aspects of it or anything like that. But when I got into business, I never thought that I would be doing this. I never thought I would be on the board. And Junior Regisford kept pressing me to do it. I kept, downplaying it, letting it go. But my partner, my CEO, my queen, my wifey, she was like, you have to do it. And I don't want no smoke with her. That's number one. My bad.
Keep wifey happy.
Two, is because it is like we was talking about, brand product. And just, the Recording Academy is community.
Yeah.
That's number one. People think it's just about Grammys and awards. No, it's community. What we do within the Recording Academy is like encourage people to vote, bring people together, we even do events. And, we do stuff for the youth. We do stuff for new creatives and show them ways to get things done. The very thing me and you were just discussing about, being able to step outside of yourself and go by rules. And they basically utilize us to teach y'all how to win a Grammy. And to be excellent and excel in what you do. So I had to really, do what my partner, Mel has told me, you have to read those emails, get in what you do is community. So it's really a great thing for me, but it's just much more than what it looks like on the surface. It's deeper than that. And I'm honored to be there, and I'm honored to be respected as alumni in the business. I never use the word legend on myself, but when it's used about me, I'm like, wow, whatever I did, I'm gonna keep doing it. That's all I can say. Whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I'll use it. You're a legend.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. You've done a lot of incredible things in this industry, and I'm proud to know you and be your friend.
Likewise,
and,
brother.
I definitely look at you as a legend. So
I appreciate it, man. Coming from
sure.
you, man, because you put work in. You are elite.
Thank you.
You are definitely
Means a lot.
Real talk.
All right, so you get to pick another bar here.
Okay, then.
Whichever one you want.
For some reason, I was eyeing that one. All right, would you rather try to escape an angry grizzly bear or a swarm of angry bees? How would you fight? I would rather escape an angry grizzly bear because I gotta have an EpiPen, because if a bee sting me, I can die, like internally. Like, so if a swarm of bees sting me, I'm dying a slow death. Like a grizzly will break my neck if he catch me.
You faster than the grizzly though?
I don't think so. I think I got a lot of grizzly in me. So I think I probably could I think I could talk to a grizzly.
You gonna talk him down?
Yo, look,
ain't
money.
fighting, ain't running. We
I
gonna talk this thing
him.
out.
I think I can chop it with him. You know what I'm saying? I told you my thing was I could make the product, but I had to learn to sell. I think I could definitely, get him a deal on some honey or something. I could do some honey and some salmon or something. I don't know, but
I think
I ain't trying to get stung by no swarm of bees, bro.
No, that's pretty bad.
He said, "Nah, that's pretty bad." Hell nah.
So, silent success, ENT.
Yeah.
Your new venture, like we talked about a little bit already, you've got an amazing team, and it's been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
What was your, the turning point where you're like, I need to start focusing on the team and bringing more people into the fold and helping promote the next generation, because you've got a lot of things going on yourself. Your career is still booming, and, taking that on and passing it to the next generation and helping the next generation, what was that moment of?
Well, I always ask Yahusha, I ask the Lord to always tell me what I need to do next. Like, without God, I'm nothing. I have no guidance. I'm terrible in life, period. So he started like guiding my steps to this. Now, Tashina Arnold, who plays Pam for Martin, the hit show Martin, I was working on a project with her, and she and I was very close. And I came up with she said, you should start your own label or something. Because, she know a lot of young up-and-coming creatives listen to me and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, I was thinking about calling it Mojo Bots Records. She's like, I don't call it no damn Mojo Bots. Like, you like a diamond in the rough. You need to call it some ish like Silent Success or something like that. So I said, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down, boom, stored it inside my heart, and I never forgot about that. And I always said if I start a label, it's gonna be called Silent Success. So when I was going through everything I was going through in recent time, I had went through a terrible divorce. I ended up back in LA in 2022, and then I ended up moving to Vegas. In Vegas, I structured the whole entire Silent Success label. I wrote on tablets full of information on how to do the LLC, how to do everything that needs to be done. And in that moment, I was talking to two brothers, and I had a situation to where I could get back to New York for a very serious personal situation in my life, and I got there back to New York. But when I got to New York, a friend of mine for over 30 years named Omar, he has follow him on Instagram too, at The Real O. He had a platform called R&B Playlist. He has a platform called R&B Playlist. When I got to New York, he asked me to come and be a guest producer and songwriter there. And I went there, and I didn't want to go at first. I was focused on some personal stuff, but that's been my friend for over 30 years. He's a good, solid brother. Always been like a real brother to me. So I went, and when I went, and I did my thing, I seen all of these young creatives that knew who I was in New York. They loved my music. that was coming up to me showing love, how I met Elliot Major. He came up to me and said, "You deserve your flowers." I'll never forget what Elliot said to me. I was like, wow, and I'm there with at the time, my wifey was my girlfriend at the time, and we were there together. And then I'm looking at her support me, and I'm up there, and I'm like, this is it. And I met a man named Jay Hatch. God bless him, his soul, man. He became like a brother to me, man, and he just recently passed away. Yeah. So shout out to Jay Hatch, Creative Space, Mobile Status, and Hatch and Omar just introduced me to this world of artists. Like Marky D Jr., Jay Cloud, all of those guys came from that. You know what I mean? Okay. That's how we got them, is from Omar and Jay Hatch. So I get with each one of them. My wifey's telling me, go get Marky D. Like, I wanted to get Elliot, you know what I'm saying? I got Elliot, and Elliot came with Jay Cloud, you know what I mean? My son and man, Zay Bando has just been such a blessing to my heart. He's so hardworking. He stops at nothing. Like everybody that God had led me to be on this roster, they all had pieces of everything that I once was that I felt like I was losing within myself. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. And the way God put it together was so amazing. And I never forget, Zay Bando got booked to do a show in Vegas. And we go to Vegas. So my partner, she's like, we got to get your stuff out of storage. I get my stuff out of storage, and one of the first things I find was the notebooks about the plans for silent success. I said, look what I found, babe. She opens it up. She's sitting there quiet in the car while we're driving through Vegas, and she's reading. She said, oh my God, everything that you wrote in this book for silent success already got done, except for 3 things. I'm gonna do those 3 things when I get back home. We got back home, she did it, we put up the money, we invested the money, and we've been rolling ever since and never looking back. And so now it's just like I'm just gonna let everybody know, like a lot of people in the music industry, they look at record labels as record labels. We are more than music. We are a ministry, and we are music. We are ministry, and we're a movement before music. We are definitely a ministry, and people are gonna look at us and see like a pure example of how to like really move the right way, and that's God's way. And like we've been just like building together ever since. So this is like the greatest time of my life. This is the greatest time of my career having them.
That's awesome.
That's why I'm like, I'd rather talk to the grizzly bear, because when it comes to them, I am the grizzly bear. Yeah. I'm the grizzly bear. I swear, I will scream, I will talk you to death, I will do whatever it takes to steer and lead the right way, and I'm not letting nothing penetrate and get up in here and mess up nothing. You're not gonna like me. I'm gonna give it to you.
So what is one of the main things that you look for when you're picking your artist now?
Intentions. Why you here?
Yeah.
What's the energy? What's the spirit? Like, you Satan worshiper? Like, all kind of stuff, because like when you inherit artists, you inherit all the demons they fight. Yeah. And we all fight some type of spiritual fight. We all got something, but is it, one thing that my wifey always says is that even when a person is dealing with something internally, they have to want the healing. Yeah. They have to want to be able to be taught. And I'm the type of person that I stop talking to you and I step off of you and I stop talking, then it's a problem. If I'm talking your head off, I love you. Right. I want to help you. If I stop talking, I know you done did something. So me personally, I look at intentions, and because you already know, you've been through this before too. Me and you have had numerous business conversations on letting the wrong energy in your business. And it's like, it's an unnecessary reset button you have to talk. Like once you get rid of them, you got to recalibrate and get your whole team, the spirit and the energy back right. Yeah. It's like you realize what a weight it is. Yeah. It's not good. And people have to be upset with you. You get it. People have to, come on, like, You and the way your mom get down, like, y'all not playing. You can't just come to Nexus and get a gig. Y'all screening them and everything. You're getting screened and all that.
Yeah.
And you will get kicked out if you happen to make the cut and then you start getting funny, you're gone. I mean, that's what any successful business. And the last thing I'm gonna say too is they talk about make America great again. Make protocol great again. What happened to that? What happened to protocol?
Yeah.
Look, end of the day, man, this is a spiritual journey that we're on, but you still have to handle business.
Yeah.
And you gotta respect each other.
Yep. The team, you know, everything reflects back to you. And
Right.
like you said, you know, any negativity in your team, it's going to affect the entire team. So it's important having the right people, good energy around you.
Yep.
You know. So what do you want people to remember you for? Your legacy, you know, 100 years from now, when people look back and talk about Rufus Blaq, what is the main thing that you want them to remember?
Being a man of God and wanting to be everything that he molded me and intended for me to be. Being a great husband and loving my wife like Christ loved the church. A man that does anything for his children, who sacrificed and willing to sacrifice his life for his children, and being the best big brother CEO of silent success. As far as me being a superstar and an artist, I only do it because Elliot will choke me and we'll be on World Star and it'll get 1 million likes. This young skinny dude got me in the headlock. I don't want to go through that. Nah, but seriously, Elliot be getting on me. And between my partner, Mel, and Elliot, they like, yo, you can't let this go. And then Junior calling me, yo, you can't let go being an artist. I'm like, yo, I'm 50 freaking 2. I'll be 53 August 26th in the next few days. Bro, they still want you. You have to do this. This dance challenge is about to drop. They chose your song. Elliot's like, yo, you got a lot of dragon left. You have to. And then he says to me, Michael Jordan played all 82 games. I need you all 82. I'm like, dang. So last but not least, if people remember me for being an artist, cool. But the reason why me being an artist now is a sacrifice for them. For them.
It's powerful, and much respect on that.
Yeah, so that's
We
what
got
it is.
one more bar here.
All right.
Take your pick.
It's hard because I was looking at that one on the end, but I'm going to get this one on this end. No. What is the dumbest thing you ever wasted money on? Hoes. You asked me. He's stuck. But I am dead. It's like a prostitute born in the 1800s. I'm not capping. Yes, tricking, trying to impress females that were not the standard because I was a nasty little man that always was trying to score, like Beavis and Butthead would say, and I blew through a bunch of bread just to walk around with trophies with big booties that now here we are in 2025 and they don't even look the same. Like, I wasn't gonna wife or life none of them, and all that money from them is just gone. And the woman I'm with now could have, she's the one that deserved all that money I blew through. But new money is here, and we working and we grinding and we making it happen. We not living in the past, but since the bar asked me, hoes. Leave them hoes alone, young man. Get you a good woman who loves the Lord. You asked and you got it. You know me, I'm gonna keep it real, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So if you could go back to any moment of your career and relive that moment or that day and time, what would that be?
When me and my partner, my wife, Mel, got on the phone for the first time, and we talked for 6 hours straight, I knew something of this magnitude was gonna happen. And I know that was only like going on like 2 years and some change ago, but that's what I would go back to. But all that stuff with Chiki Chiki Achiko and all that stuff, nah, I ain't going back to that. Nah, I'm cool. I wouldn't want to go back to them days, not even for 45 minutes. I'm cool. I'll go back to when me and her first locked in and we talked for those 6 hours, and I just felt something great in my spirit was coming, and this is it. This is it. And I'm like, I'm in a heaven on earth type situation right now. Even though I be tired sometimes, frustrated with dealing with the bull crap, whatever, I wouldn't trade it. Nah, son.
That's awesome. A good woman will do that.
Man, we got my little 6-year-old daughter with us, and she's learning, she's singing all the songs, doing all the choreography. Tutu funny as heck, man. Tutu, having my little baby girl, my 6-year-old, and raising her to honor God and music, and she get ready to go back to school Monday. I mean, I can't complain. You know, my son Andy, he's in Chicago. He's a freaking genius. My daughter Nene, she's in college. She goes to Robert Morris University. She's a freaking genius. She just like her mama. And then my daughter Ryan, Brooklyn, my oldest little girl. She's just like, she's me 4.0. She's a very wise gangster. She's a Brooklyn girl, so
yeah.
I love my family and my kids. They all love them dope. Zay Bando is a freaking superstar. That remind me of Daryl from The Walking Dead. We'll never go hungry. This nigga will go fishing, come home with 4 fish, a rabbit, to make stew, catfish nuggets, and potatoes, and we good. Zombie apocalypse come, we gangster, we good.
We good. Mm-hmm. Nice. So what's next here? Creatively, for the label, where's things going? Can you give us any insight on the next moves? What's coming up? What the people can expect from you in the label?
Big televised performances. We have deals on the table, but we're a wise label. We're a very wise label. We're focusing on right now, like building each other up as a unit, as one. All of us are like, you know how me and you did, like get to know each other and work with each other to like, it's like one hand knows the other. How you move, how we rock, how we move. And certain stuff you say, I already know, you don't even have to tell me, bro. I got you, I'm gonna do such stuff. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make sure I don't do this. Like, we're doing that and building character up, like making sure that because going in this business with fame comes temptation and mistakes.
Yeah.
But we know what limbs not to go too far out on. So we realize this is a process. A lot of people would try to rush you to get to fame. That's not good. We don't do that. We're taking this process seriously.
Building the foundation.
And sometimes when we get on the phone with each other, like at Silent Success, and we're talking about how we started and where we are now, we're like, yo, and it just makes us so aggressive at getting greater and getting better. And even with these deals on the table and stuff like that, we're not tripping, because one of the things that, you know, my partner Mel has always said to us, don't just let Instagram or Facebook or TikTok and these sites, yes, they have a set algorithm, but we can also create our own. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Create your own algorithm. Stop worrying about how many likes and worry about how many views. Focus on the views, not the likes. Somebody watched this. It only take one eye to catch. So keep working. So I just feel like what's next for us is stepping in the right situation on our own terms.
Right.
That's what we need to do. We need to know who we are and what we are when we get there. Because if you get there and you ultimately get this huge deal and you got this huge deal and you got all of this money and you got all of these people screaming over you and you worldwide critically acclaimed and you like Rufus, see, that's why I don't like wouldn't want to go back in time to the old Rufus Blaq, because I didn't know who I was. I found the character record, which was Chicky Chicky Ah Chico, that was totally me, that everybody felt like, oh, we know a piece of him now, but I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
So if you don't step in, know who and what you are on your own term, I mess around and get these guys like a $10 million situation with Universal, right? Because you know I'm tapped in, I'm a Universal writer, I'm tapped in, I'm doing business with them, I am doing deals with them, or I wouldn't say it on the camera at all. We don't specialize in cap. We keep it real. Yep. We don't play music industry like little girls play house. This is for real. You understand? So if I get them that big deal, and we're not building and we're not working, they don't know who they are and what they are and how to, and the actual ways to really actually perform in these things and to peep out bull crap. Like, I like the fact that certain evils have kind of lightweight infiltrated our camp to where we had to discern and learn. And certain people not gonna come with us all the way on the journey. Some people gotta go. But I like to see the ones who pick up on the bull crap. I like to see the ones with the wolf scent that's in here. Because the ones with the wolf scent, I pull them up to the front and I be like, go get him and holler at him. Holler at this one, holler at that one. And none of us get like hating or get all mad like, oh, you to be the Elliot, who's Elliot to be telling me something? I don't want to hear nothing from J. Cloud. We all respect each other like it's me.
It's dope, that's how it should be.
Respect everybody.
A growing experience, everybody's growing together, and it's what builds a stronger bond and stronger team.
I'm gonna say this one thing. People say, yo, you watch The Walking Dead all the time. Why you watch The Walking Dead? I love The Walking Dead is because of the way the unit, the team, the family stakes together no matter what. I remember an episode when they were starving. They ain't have no water, they ain't have no nothing. And they did not turn on each other. When it started raining, they had empty bottles of water and they sat them in the street and let the rain fill up the water. And when they started getting hydrated a little bit, they was trying to figure out what it was to eat. About 6 rabid dogs came out the woods to attack them. And instead of run, Rick said, and you heard pop, 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 and they shot the dogs, right? The next scene, you see them with dog on a stick. Roasting dog, eating dog. You feel what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's about the group staying together no matter what. Can you imagine if Death Row would have did that? Can you imagine if Bad Boy did that? Now watch this. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and their team did that. Look what they just did. Got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I can name a few other companies that are still rocking. Or let's look at Berry Gordy, who no longer owns Motown. But you think Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, and all of them, and whoever survived from the Temptations don't be at Barry's house connected, locked in with Barry? They just old now. They just like, but that's what we're building here.
Yeah.
It can happen. Like, you see big corporations.
Yeah.
That core family is right there. It's possible.
Yeah, I love that. I think that, I can definitely see that it's more than just a business. It's a family unit, and everybody's moving together. Yep. And it's always positivity and,
Positivity is the truest form of gangster in the world. I was just talking to my man Brian, MK Sharper about his brother Dulo, how Dulo walk in the room and be like, yo, Roof, I'm getting ready to go, man. I don't feel the energy, man. The energy bad, man. It's just like, I feel negativity. I just feel, I ain't going in there.
You don't need it.
You don't need, that's the most simplest way of putting it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
So what we don't need, if you take it out of your business, if you take that out of your company and you peep it, you see it, you take it out, so long, here's your walking papers, God bless you. Not gonna say nothing negative about you. You keep going. You don't get in these back and forths for people. You keep that, I'll say, that royalty standard.
Right.
You're not fazed by any of that. You see what I'm saying?
It's not worth your time. You gotta stay on the positive wavelengths, and anything else, gotta go.
I don't understand how messy is the new dressy. Messy's not a tuxedo, nigga. Messy is a nasty freaking, what's the sanitation job outfit to me. That's messy. People are putting on tuxedos and being messy. You got some champagne in your hand and in the air and you look the look of class, don't mean you are class. We're about, Solid Success is about protocol, big business, and first and foremost, just like family and great entertainment. That's why it's Solid Success Entertainment, and we let the music speak for itself. The moves are solid, the results are loud.
Yeah. I like that. Well, I really appreciate you coming to talk with me today. That was a dope interview.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been a long time coming. We've been needing you here, so
Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate you being here. And you know, just want to say, this is the man, good friend, and it's been great having you.
I'm glad to be here.
That's B.A.R.S, the Nexus Sound Studio. Rufus Blaq, Silent Success ENT. Make sure you check out all their artists. And that's a wrap.
It's a wrap.